Residents are advised to use drinking water wisely during this period. On phone is the chief manager for the Central Region, Seth Erika Tiafa, to have a conversation on this. Good afternoon, Seth.
Good afternoon, madam.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, you're welcome, madam.
Would you say it is the Galamsey activities that have reduced, causing the turbidity, that have reduced? Would you say it is the Galamsey activities that have reduced and that has caused the turbidity to also reduce?
Yeah, partly, or because in our earlier release we said that turbidity have gone up because of illegal mining activities on our water bodies. Now that we are seeing improvement and also the result of interventions done against those activities, we can say to a large extent that it is the decline of Galamsey activities on the water bodies that have caused this improvement.
Okay, Seth, what specific measures have been taken at the Setrehimang water treatment plant to reduce the turbidity levels? We know that 9,000 isn't the ideal turbidity level. So what specific measures have been taken?
Okay, so a number of activities, starting with the press release of last month, which I believe to a large extent conscientized and sensitized both the Galamsey operators and also the citizens. Some of them were on the watch out against these activities. We also engaged the chiefs, elders, and opinion leaders in some of the communities along the crash stretch, especially closer to our intake. We also contacted the regional coordinating council headed by the Honorable Regional Minister, who supported us with police patrols and then police visibility along the stretch. And also in our own small way, we have improved upon our desilting regimes. And these have given us more room to receive more water for treatment. So a number of activities have resulted in this improved stability levels. Of course, this has also resulted in we being able to produce more water for supply in our supply area.
Well, Seth,
yeah,
we know that the ideal NTU is way below the 9,000 that has been recorded. It means that the situation we are in is a serious one. But how dire is it, and how long is it going to take for our water to go back to the clear nature that we expect it to be?
Okay, so in our last release, we said the plant is designed to manage easily around 2,000 levels of turbidity. Now we are doing 9,000, which is not the best, but with the potency of the chemical we are using, we are able to manage. But we all want it to be at the ideal level, which is about 2,000. With the efforts we have put in place, if it is sustained, if we have all hands on board, we believe that by the next few months we should be seeing a significant decline in turbidity levels.
What long-term strategies is the Ghana Water Company Limited considering to prevent similar challenges in the near future?
Well, Ghana Water, we are an abstraction company, so we are limited, but I believe that water resources have the audition to manage the water bodies. I think they are on the watch out for Galamseyers and preventing illegal activities on the mine or on the water body. But for Ghana Water, with our catchment area, we'll continue to desilt, we'll continue to dredge, and then we optimize our operations to get water to the supply areas. And to get water stability levels, appropriate levels is a combination of efforts from everybody. And I believe the government is doing well to get the water to the required stability. So
The
we
recent
support.
increment in tariffs by the PURC, is it in any way connected to the issues that you've been facing as Ghana Water Company Limited?
No, tariff, it's effective 1st October, so we have not even started charging it, so that cannot have any relation to what we are discussing today.
Okay. Thank you for speaking with us, Seth.
Thank you so much, my sister.
Seth Erika Tiapa is the manager at the Central Region of the Ghana Water Company Limited. Into our next story, government spokesperson on governance and security, Palgrave Boache Dankwa, has reaffirmed government's commitment to eradicating galamsey in the country. According to him, the government will take action on the galamsey menace in the coming days following organized labor's meeting with the government. Speaking on ABC in the morning, Mr. Boache Dankwa says the government is very concerned about galamsey and will take a decision soon.
Well, I'm happy that the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has allowed the Ghanaian people to exercise their democratic rights. I'm happy that all other persons who said that the President was quiet about the threats of illegal mining and the destruction of our water bodies have now clearly seen that the President is very concerned, and the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has not been quiet about that. To be fair, I'm glad that the President met with organized labor yesterday at 9 a.m. at Jubilee House before cabinet began at about 11 o'clock. I'm glad that the President has given clear directions and clear guidelines as to when he would be able to respond back to organized labor. Having worked with the President and still working with him, when the President says that any institution or union should give him ample time to be able to address the issues, I'm very much aware that the President will get back to them and will respond very clearly. We have examples of that a few months ago when Parliament asked for the resignation or the change of the former Minister for Finance. The President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, did say that Parliament should give him some time because the then Minister for Finance at the time had begun a negotiation with the IMF. I'm glad that now the former Minister for Finance has been replaced and we have a new Minister for Finance, the Honorable Amin Adam, which clearly indicates that when the President does say that he should give him ample time to be able to address the issues, those issues will be addressed.
Meanwhile, Mr. Boache Dankwa says the conditions of water bodies are gradually improving across the country. His comments follow the Ghana Water Company statement that the Setrehimang plant has begun to produce more water as the turbidity levels of rivers supplying water to the plant are improving.
This morning, the Ghana Water Company Limited has given clear indications that Setrehimang water plant has begun to clear in terms of receiving from 1.9 million gallons a day to 2.7 million gallons a day, which means that the water is beginning to clear in Setrehimang that serves within the Central Region, Elmina, Cape Coast, and other parts of Central Region. And a clear indication has been given that it was as a result of President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's call of all the regional ministers in September when the organized labor brought their statement out. And the President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo set up the 5-member team led by the Sector Minister, the Honorable Samuel A. Jinapor, and the Sector Minister for Information, the Honorable Hajia Fatima Abubakar. I am very confident that the claims that organized labor wants with a state of emergency, with the revocation of the LI 2462, with setting up courts so that they can be able to administer mining cases, I'm very confident that as the water levels begin to change, it means that the government is addressing the issues. And I hope and pray that before the 10th of October, organized labor would come out very clearly and confidently and state that they have good assurances in the President and Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and they are certain that President will respond to them and assess in September when the organized labor brought their statement out. And the president and
still on Galamsey, head of advocacy at Settle Ghana, Isifuseidu Kudus, has expressed disappointment at the government, calling them a failure to Ghanaians. Speaking on ABC in the morning about president's meeting with the organized labor yesterday, Mr. Seidu reiterated that what ample time is government asking for when he couldn't do anything with the 7 years he had. He stressed that Ghanaians gave governments the power to authorize for funding to be allocated for funds for the fight against Galamsey, and he has charged government to declare a state of emergency.
If the president, if I heard the president right, asking for more time, what time again is he talking about? The president has had 7 years, 7 and counting, 7 years, 8 months. What has happened to the fight? If there has been any time in this country that any president or any government had the goodwill of the people in respect of the fight against Galamsey, it is this government, it's this president. In 2017, when the Midday coalition started this, they didn't even call on government. Government by itself came in. The president came in and made a promise to us. The people of Ghana gave him the power to authorize for funding to be allocated for the fight against Galamsey. He did so. We have allocated millions and millions of Ghana cedis for the fight against Galamsey. And today where we are, with the news from Ghana Water Company, the news coming from Ghana Medical Association, news coming from various bodies, including the National House of Chiefs, it is a failure. And if you have failed for the past 7 years, I don't think any other time that you give to the president would work. What organized labor is asking, and what Ghanaians are asking, and what civil society organizations are asking, is just something that the president should listen to and do and get us out of this. Put a moratorium on mining. We are not calling you out for your failure. We are saying that just put a moratorium, declare a state of emergency. Even if you don't declare it, we are already in a...
Still on the fight against Galamsey, Minister of Works and Housing Kojo Oponkroma has stated that Dr. Mamudu Bawumia's 6 policies on Galamsey, as outlined in the NPP 2024 manifesto, will help tackle menace in the country. Addressing students at the election dialogue organized by the Law Students Association of the Ghana Institute of Public Administration, GIMPA, he said that various strategies employed by the current administration and previous ones have only choked temporary gains, but has not been able to fully eradicate Galamsey in the country. However, when voted into power, Dr. Mamudu Bawumia will implement 6 initiatives to holistically tackle the menace, including a mining development bank, resourcing the geological service to conduct studies, and amending the constitution to make traditional leaders an integral part of the award of mining concessions.
That's one of the first things Dr. Bawumia wants to do. So he wants to invest in geological investigation of the mineral zones so that you don't go digging the places to find it. We'll be able to tell you that the gold is here and here and here. So anybody who wants to do mining, where do you go? Here or here or here. Number 2, he says the people need proper financing to do it. If the people are poor and unemployed living in the area and there's gold there and they don't know how to do it, they'll use mercury and all the, excuse my language, stupid methods. Don't just shout at them and be angry. Give them support to do it the right way. So we're setting up a minerals development bank so that we can give them funding. We're also going to assist them with the machinery. We've tried something we call the gold catcher machine. It's working. So give them a bit more of this. Now we're saying that we want to make the chief and the district assembly part of the process. If they don't approve it, you can't mine there. So that when we go there and somebody is mining, we can then ask the chief that, oi, Nana, who gave this guy the permit? We want to also now buy the properly mined gold. We want to buy it for our, gold for oil, gold for exports, gold for oil, gold for currency, and then gold purchase program. We want to now therefore haven't known where it is, enhance the community mining schemes that, okay, now you can go here, now you can go here, now you can go here. And then lastly, then when you say people should go and enforce, nobody has an excuse, because we have done all that the country should do to help you.
Meanwhile, Works and Housing Minister Kojo Nkrumah says a Dr. Bawumia-led government will decentralize law education in the country. He says, as part of improving education in the country, the next NPP government will ensure that law students are able to practice law without necessarily graduating from the Ghana School of Law at Makola.
We want to expand educational opportunities for all. You are here. Other people want to come to law school, but they can't get it because of where they are and admission requirements. In fact, for you, you are hoping to get into Mokola, true or false? And today they say unless you go to Mokola, you cannot be admitted to the bar, true or false? So we have some ideas aimed at ensuring that you don't have to go to Mokola, but you can still become a lawyer. It's part of the ideas that we are working on. It's under our pillar number 9, which is about expanding educational opportunities for all. We want to expand.
Away from that, a public health analyst, Samuel Afa, has expressed confidence in the Ghana Health Service's preparedness to effectively contain and manage the Mpox virus. This comes as Ghana records the first confirmed case of Mpox in the Bia West district in the Western North region. Speaking to ABC News GH, the health experts commended the proactive measures taken by the Ghana Health Service, responding to previous health threats like COVID-19, and hoped that similar robust measures would be rolled out to contain the Mpox outbreak.
First to say I am not confident of the Ghana Health Service in managing this, because you see, of course, even COVID is a testimony. We can tell from the action of the COVID, of course, together with the government and the leadership of the president, in how we were able to contain COVID, which actually ravaged and destroyed other countries who even have very stronger systems. So we also know within 2022 there was a similar outbreak, and that also fairly was managed. So looking at experience and what has happened before, history, we can only say we are confident for now, based on what we have seen in the past, and hope that the Ghana Health Service will step up their efforts and be able to nip this in the bud as soon as possible.
More on health. Samuel Afa, public health analyst, has cautioned the public against the consumption of bushmeat following the outbreak of Mpox in the country. According to him, bushmeat, which includes wild animals such as monkeys and rodents, are a possible vector for zoonotic diseases, including Mpox. He made these remarks in the interview on ABC in the morning.
Actually are able to carry the virus and able to pass it to man. So I guess the alert from the Ghana Health Service is ideal that people should be careful. For now, we may have to stop the consumption of some of these meat from these animals. I mean, the grass cutter, the those in the wild, the okisi, excuse me to say, and all the other bushmeat. Let's be careful until we are sure through investigations what is revealed, and then we can know. But we know they live in some mammals and they can pass it to humans. Actually are able to carry the virus and able to pass it to man. So I guess the alert from the Ghana Health Service is ideal that people should be careful. For now, we may have to stop.
Still on health, the World Health Organization has approved the first rapid diagnostic test for Mpox, enabling immediate detection of the virus from skin lesion swabs. This new PCR test addresses the current delays in testing, where samples must be sent to laboratories, leading to waiting periods of several days for results. Limited testing capacity in Africa has hindered the response to Mpox, with only 40% of over 30,000 suspected cases confirmed this year. Yukiko Nakatani, the WHO's Assistant Director General, hailed the new test as a significant milestone in efforts to contain the virus, especially in underserved regions. The announcement coincides with the Democratic Republic of Congo preparing to launch an Mpox vaccination program, as the country has reported the highest number of cases and 635 related deaths this year. Away from health and into election-related matters, disqualified independent presidential aspirant Janet Asananabla has announced that she will not pursue legal action against the Electoral Commission regarding her disqualification from the upcoming presidential race. The Electoral Commission disqualified Ms. Nabla from the December 7, 2024 presidential elections due to errors in her candidacy filing papers. Among the 11 aspirants whose candidacies were rejected, Ms. Nabla's case involved using registration details of voters from specific districts to support her nomination in other districts. Additionally, her vice presidential candidate did not sign the required forms. Suleimana Seidu, General Secretary of the People's National Party, PNP, which Ms. Nabla leads, issued a statement confirming the party's stance. While they disagree with the EC's grounds for disqualification, after consulting party members nationwide, the PNP has decided not to contest the EC's decision. Instead, they will focus on obtaining their final certificate to operate as a fully fledged political party. Mr. Seidu emphasized that the PNP's mission extends beyond contesting elections. Away from election-related matters, the convener for the National Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Aremeya Wusama, says if the NPP government fails to deliver on their demands, the NPP will suffer dearly for it in the 2024 elections. He says the government has the authority to issue an executive order banning illegal mining in the country, destroying our water body. Speaking on ABC in the morning on the day 2 of the Free the Citizens demonstration, Mr. Wusama says if the government is not ready to do the needful, then there will be a political implication for them in the upcoming elections.
You know, the Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources, they issue licenses to those who reportedly are engaged in mining. So anything that has to do with mining of our mineral resources has to do with ministries of mineral resources. So it's in the right direction. The conveners are going to extend a petition to them. Yesterday, delegation from Attorney General came around to pick up a petition to the Attorney General. And in all of this, I've mentioned the objective already. These are the things we want to achieve. Banning of illegal mining activities and then freeing of our brothers and sisters who are unlawfully kept behind bars as we speak. This might not be achieved after a 3-day protest, but we will never relent till we achieve this target. There are several steps we could take, and we are already doing it with these protests. Yes, the election is almost in December, and then few days to election. Ghanaians are listening to the conversations that is going on. Organized labor is one of the biggest labor organizations in Ghana. And if the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians are calling for a ban of illegal mining activities, and government has the authority to actually issue an executive order banning illegal mining, ceasing mining activities that pollute our water bodies and destroy our forest reserves, at least on a temporary ban. If the government was not ready to do that, then I think...
Away from these local stories, let's get into the world of business. The Ministry of Finance has announced the successful completion of its Eurobond debt exchange and consent solicitation process. The initiative, which aims to restructure Ghana's Eurobond debt, has received overwhelming support from bondholders, marking a significant milestone in the country's economic recovery efforts. Addressing the press in Accra, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam described the development as a positive turn that will accelerate Ghana's financial position in the international market.
I am delighted, ladies and gentlemen, to announce to you that after all the negotiations, we have achieved an overwhelming success. We obtained more than 98% consent, which is significantly higher than the 65% threshold from bondholders following the launch of the exchange offer and consent solicitation in September 2024. And so the threshold we expected to achieve was 65%. What we have achieved is more than 98%. And this is the reason we are very happy about the overwhelming success of this consent solicitation.
An International Monetary Fund team led by Mission Chief for Ghana, Midday, has reached a staff-level agreement on the third review of the extended credit facility with Ghana. A series of meetings were held in Accra from September 24 to August 4, 2024 to discuss progress on reforms and the government's policy priorities. In the end, Mr. Midday said in a statement that the IMF staff and Ghanaian authorities have reached a staff-level agreement on the third review of Ghana's economic program and that the extended credit facility arrangement. The staff-level agreement is subject to IMF management approval and executive board consideration. Upon completion of the executive board review, Ghana would have access to 269.1 million SDR, about $360 million, bringing the total IMF financial support disbursed under the arrangement since May 2023 to $920 million. The statement pointed out that the performance under the IMF supported program has been generally satisfactory. It added that all the end June 2024 quantitative targets were met and progress on key structural reforms has continued, notwithstanding delays in a few areas. The IMF policy and reform efforts under the program have continued to deliver encouraging results. Providing more details, the statement said the economic growth in the first half of 2024 was much higher than initially envisaged, primarily fueled by mining, construction, and information and communication activity, with a broadening of the sources of growth across sectors during the second quarter. Inflation has continued to decline. That is all for business. Up next is sports. Players Emmanuel Mafo of Adriana FC, Kamaradini Mamudu of Mediama SC, and Isaiah Nyako of Bichem United have been nominated for the NASCO Player of the Month award for September for September, Aduana FC's Emmanuel Mafo has been in excellent form, netting 3 goals in 4 matches, including a brace against Young Apostles. Mediama SC's Kamaradini Mamudu, a defender, has also impressed, scoring 2 goals in 3 matches, including the crucial winner against Legon Cities in match week 2. Isaiah Nyako of Bichem United has delivered 2 man of the match performances, playing 360 minutes in 4 games and contributing significantly to his team's success. The NASCO Player of the Month award, supported by Electroland Ghana Limited, will see the winner receive a sleek 43-inch NASCO television. The Confederation of African Football has rescheduled the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers between Ghana and Sudan. The matches will now take place on Thursday, October 10 and Tuesday, October 15, 2024, instead of the original dates, October 11 and 14, 2024. The Ghana Black Stars will host the first leg at the Accra Sports Stadium on October 10, while the return leg will be played at Benina, Libya on October 15, 2024. Ghana is aiming to win 3 qualifiers as we sit third in qualifying Group F with only 1 point from 2 matches. Winning both matches against Sudan is crucial for Ghana to improve our chances of qualifying for the tournament, which will be held in Morocco in 2025. Finally, in sports, Coach Otuado has called up 25 players for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Sudan. Defenders Alexander Jiku and Gideon Mensah are back in the squad after missing out on last month's qualifiers against Angola and Niger. FC Samatex left back Isaac Afo has been handed a debut call-up after an impressive performance in the preliminary round of the CAF Champions League and the ongoing Premier League. Olympic Lyon forward Enes Nuyama and Ibrahim Suleimana of Atalanta have also made a return to the squad after recovering from injury setbacks that kept them out of last month's qualifiers. Ghana will play Sudan at the Accra Sports Stadium on Thursday, October 11, before traveling to Libya for the reverse fixture at the Matthias of Benina Stadium in Benina on Tuesday, October 14, 2024. That's all for sports. Up next, international news. At least 78 people have drowned after a boat carrying 278 passengers capsized in Lake Kivu in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The boat went down just 700 meters from the shore. The boat was carrying more than triple the required passengers. Rescue efforts continue, with officials giving conflicting casualty figures, but many are still unaccounted for. Locals are blaming authorities for failing to reopen roads cut off by rebel conflicts, forcing more passengers onto overcrowded boats. Authorities are still working to confirm the final death toll, as not all bodies have been recovered.
Merdi namaliza watu Mungu watu wa mingi watu wanaisha Mungu wa mingi sana merdi wote Mungu
Alors kumwisho tukaona batu inakuya ikapengama na inakaribia deja mukituku. Kapteni kutafuta fanya manevre njo ikamushinda mkazaruba. Apre pale tukaona batu inaanza shuka polepole, walikuwa kunani yulu kwetaje yulu, wakaanza jitupatupa. Batu ikaanza shuka ale ile mulemo ikakuwa yulu, batu yote ikaishia ndani.
That's all for international stories. Let's take some entertainment news. Ghanaian hip-hop musician and entrepreneur D Black has proposed the significant changes to the music industry, stating that if he were appointed Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, he would dissolve current music unions like Musica, GAMU and COSGA due to their ineffectiveness. In a recent interview, he criticized these organizations for failing to fulfill their roles, particularly regarding royalty collection. D Black emphasized the need for a new accountable body to manage these responsibilities. He also pledged to implement capacity building initiatives to equip industry stakeholders with essential skills and knowledge. That's all for entertainment, but before we go, let's take a look at one more story. The Labour Front has insisted on the need for government to impose a temporary ban on small-scale mining in the country to avert the consequences of illegal mining on water bodies. This follows their meeting with the president, where he pleaded for more time to deal with the menace. President Akufo-Addo appealed to organized Labour during a meeting on Thursday, October 3, asking them to reconsider the strike, which is set for October 10. The president reassured the labor unions, the labor leaders of his administration's commitment to tackling the environmental destruction caused by illegal mining known as galamsey. He expressed the need for unity in addressing this pressing national issue. The meeting, held behind closed doors, focused on the escalating threat of illegal mining and the impact it is having on Ghana's environment and natural resources. However, organized labor has insisted that a ban should be placed on small-scale mining amidst resistance from the Small-Scale Miners Association. That is all for the news this afternoon. Thank you for watching us. For more news, visit our website www.abcnewsgh.com. www.abcnewsgh.com. I am Abna Mante. Have a good afternoon.